Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest for you. In preparation for the Super Bowl, we decided what would be the best view to get other than a New England Patriot fan. Well, we got a very knowledgeable Philadelphia Eagles fan, former friend of mine, former teammate of mine, who had a very decorated semi-pro football career, going to the big game and winning it once in 10 seasons. He played for the North Attleboro Renegades, winning that title. He also spent his last 3 seasons for the Boston Bandits. He was a First Ballot Hall of Fame selection for the Semi-Pro League. And for the past 5 seasons, he's been coaching high school ball in Rhode Island, going to the big game twice and winning it once. We're pleased to have the services and the voice of Mike Murray. Obviously, because the New England Patriots are in it, so they're the bane of our existence up here in Buffalo. But as someone who's born and raised in Philly and going into this game, what do you see as some of the keys to the Philadelphia Eagles doing what people think are going to be miraculous?
Well, for one, we can't turn the ball over. We got to run the ball, and we got to get them guys off the field on third down. We can't let them pick up first down. We got to keep them in third and long situations. We got to play press man coverage against their receivers. I mean, outside of Gronk, none of those guys are scary at all to get physical with them up front. Brady, it's a lot of timing with the Patriots, and if you can knock that timing off and we get pressure up the middle with our big guys, with Fletcher Cox and Timmy Jernigan, it's going to be tough for him to step up. I personally like to call Tom Brady the most mobile quarterback ever, and people laugh at me when I say that. But, I mean, Mario, we both play the position. Mm-hmm. Sometimes just that slide up in the pocket or that slide left or that slide right can give you an extra 2 or 3 seconds where you don't just have to take off around the edge and use your speed. I mean, he's probably the best in the pocket that I've seen ever. And, if you can get that pressure right up the middle, I mean, as a quarterback, we can feel it and see it coming off the edges, but what we hate is when it's coming right up the middle.
Yeah.
And that's the strength of our defense right there. I mean, I'll take Fletcher Cox and Tim Jernigan against any 2 of the interior linemen that the Patriots have.
Yeah, and as far as that's concerned, Brady pre-snap is amazing, right? Like his ability to break down, he is simply phenomenal. From calling, line changes to, I mean, everything that he does pre-snap is unbelievable. So what you've seen in this playoff run is you've seen him neutralize pressure, right? Mm-hmm. So what do you think from a preparation standpoint the Eagles are doing to try and nullify Brady's adjustments at the line? What can you do to try and mess with him? Like we've seen, like we used to see teams stand up, like the Ravens did it against Manning. They wouldn't ever put their down lineman down, right? Yeah. Is that something that you're going to see to try and neutralize Brady's pre-snap reads?
Well, I would hope so. And Jim Schwartz has had some success against Brady in the past. And I know with what I heard, some of the commentators talking about is when teams have been successful against Brady, it's when they're running that kind of, you don't know what they're in. They're waiting. They're just kind of standing around. You might got 5 guys standing at the line of scrimmage, but maybe only 3's coming. Some guys are dropping in coverage. You just don't know. So you don't want to come out of your defensive huddle and kind of line up and show what you're going to do, because Brady likes to kind of use that play clock. And, he usually takes snaps, somewhere between 8 to 10 seconds left on the clock. And if you can kind of just kind of fake him out and not show him what you're doing until pretty much as he's going through his cadence, and then maybe you drop into your coverage and stuff. Because like you said, pre-snap and everything, he's probably the best ever. So you got to just keep using him a little bit, and you got to hit him in the mouth. The back of his jersey has got to be dirty at the end of the game. You know what I mean?
The thing that gets me, Mike, we always talk about the disciples of the league. If Belichick, just for example, Belichick and Coughlin were disciples of Parcells, And Coughlin employed a phenomenal defensive strategy both times in the Super Bowl where he got pressure with Ford. He was able to bracket those short routes. He was able to neutralize Gronk. The thing about Schwartz that I love is a majority of the time he lined up in straight 4-3, and he's like, listen, we're just going to outplay you athletically. We're not going to try to disguise anything. We're just going to have everything out of our 4-3 and do that. Do you see it as an advantage, the fact that Schwartz, with all due respect, he's a Belichick disciple. So do you think there's going to be any? Do you think that's going to play into it as well, as far as him taking something from Coughlin, or is he going to try to do something different, or is he just going to stick with what's worked the entire year?
Right. These guys are right. I think you do what you do. You do what you got there. You don't reinvent the wheel. I think you do. Maybe look back on some film of how the Giants were able to beat them. Getting pressure with 4, because if you're putting 4 guys, if you're getting pressure with only 4 guys, and I'm able to drop 7 guys in coverage, I mean, it's going to be tough to grow. With 7 guys in coverage. And the Eagles, we don't blitz much at all. But what I like is when he dials them up, it seems like they're the right time. You don't have to blitz 100 times, but if you blitz 5 times at the right time, then that's a beautiful thing. As far as the coaching tree and going back to, maybe he'll call Tom Coughlin and talk to him a little bit. But I think you just stick with what you do and do what got you there.
What does the Eagles offense have in store for that defense?
Run the ball down their throat. Keep Tom Brady off the field, I mean, the short time. What we've been doing all year, except for, when we had Carson, we had the big play, ability with him, just, able to roll around and do his own thing and kind of freelance and make plays down the field, and just kind of, we want to win the time of possession, obviously. And when we get in the red zone, we want to score 7. We don't want field goals. We want 7. We need touchdowns. And you got to play for 4 quarters. But I think the Patriots' weakness is their run stop on the defense. And I mean, we have a 3-headed monster back there that can run the ball. With Jay Ajayi, LeGarrette Blount, Corey Clement, and I think if we control the clock and run the ball, pick up first down, we should be in good shape.
Curious on your opinion on this. The difference between the style of play between Carson Wentz and Nick Foles is huge, right? You're not running the same offense that you were running with Carson Wentz now. So that might have given the Eagles an advantage because there was such limited film on how they were going to utilize Wentz. They're using a lot more RPO, right? So the way that they're approaching the offense is different. Is that an advantage for them, or does Belichick neutralize that small advantage of limited tape?
Well, I think that benefits the Eagles more than it would benefit the Patriots, just like you said, because the Eagles, since Nick Foles took over 5 games ago, this would be his 6th. It's been a little different every game. I mean, he came into this season hurt, so he didn't play any of the preseason. He didn't play any of the regular season, so I like to kind of look at those first few games of him getting in as his preseason, and he's just right now warming up to around week 2 of the season in his eyes, as far as playing time is concerned, and being the guy and taking reps. And, I mean, you can watch all the film you want on the Eagles, but it seems like game after game we would lose another piece. So it's okay. They got a great left tackle. Let's try to find something else, and then the left tackle goes down. So it's like, all right, let's attack that side. But then Vitae does a good job, so now you can't do that. So it's kind of, we've been able to live off of that next man up mentality and kind of keep it moving. I think we got to take some shots down the field early. I think, whether we complete it or not, you just got to kind of keep them guys on their heels back there and so that they know that we will come down there, so they just can't, log jam everybody up and put 8-9 guys in a box and try to stop our run game. We're going to need to do that. We did a lot of the RPO in Atlanta in the second half, and then again against Minnesota, and it looked good. I mean, the defenses, those 2 teams, they weren't thinking too smart, because I'm not even playing Nick Foles on the keys. I'm playing the run all day, and I'm jam-packed. I mean, Nick Foles is going to pick up 30 yards. I'll live with that, as a defensive coordinator. But I'm not just going to allow, Carson Wentz is different. So we got to defend it differently. I just think that if we just got to run the ball. Their run defense is weak. They got, Gilmore. I'm sure you guys are very, understand what he's all about with him being in Buffalo for so long. He's starting to finally play a little football, but none of those guys scare me, on the edges. So I just think we got an advantage,
So first score. So let's just say that, right? So
Yeah.
first score, does that team win?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, all right.
I like it.
All right.
No, absolutely not. I mean, just seeing, what have they been to? This is now their 8th Super Bowl. I think the one that they won last year in overtime by 6 was the closest one. And in all 5 of the Super Bowl wins, living in New England, I hear all this crap all the time. And I heard the guy say that he's in the 5 wins that Brady's went down and orchestrated a game-winning drive in all 5 of those Super Bowl wins. That's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's insane. But history is meant to be broken. You know what I mean? And I think. That was all before, but it's just a real weird stat. Some guys, that happens once in your career. You're able to drive but to do it 5 times in the biggest game in the world is unbelievable. So you definitely got to play the 4 quarters until the clock strikes all zeros against this team.
I don't think people are giving the Eagles offense enough credit for what they're able to do against this New England defense. I think they're going to shock a lot of people in the first quarter. And they had a stat.
Well, I mean, we were the number 1 rushing offense in the NFL all year. I mean,
yeah.
And people need to realize that. You might think that it was the 2 kids from New Orleans Saints, but it was actually the Eagles. And that you got to understand that we can run the ball. We have 3 very capable guys, and Bill Belichick is the best at taking away what you do best. The beauty of this Eagles team this year is there's no real superstars. Like, okay, so you take away Jay Ajayi, well then who's going to take away Zach Ertz? And then you take him away, who's going to take away Alshon? And if you take him away, who's going to take away Aguilar? It's a cast of characters. It's just a good group of really good football players, no great ones. And it's just going to be tough. And I mean, everything else is just, the whole underdog thing and flying. I think that's got something to do with it, But at the end of the day, those 53 men on each team and those coaches are going to have to go on the field, and the ball's going to get kicked up, and football's got to get played, So they're the ones that are going to determine the ultimate outcome. I just really like our chances a whole hell of a lot better this year.
He's clearly played well enough to earn the opportunity to start again, current state, right? Unless the Super Bowl is an absolute tire fire for him. And even then, I'm not sure how many teams would still dive off that list. But do you see Nick Foles as a member of this team next year? Or do you think Roseman looks at it and says, you know what, I can get something for nothing at this point. Here's a guy that I was able to get. I had to eat some money to get him on the team, but this was a smart investment. Do you think he's on the Eagles next year, or do you think they move forward? If they get offered a 3rd round pick this year and a 4th round pick next year, do they take it? What do you think it would take to get him, and do you see him on the roster next year?
I think a lot of that's going to depend, and Howie being Howie, and trust me, I love Howie. Howie's great. I think he's made all the right moves in our preseason and during the season. I think he's one of the smartest GMs. He's definitely won GM of the year this year. But I think that we just have to be cautious and keep him because he's still under contract for another year, if I'm correct.
Yep.
And we need to see this rehab go through a little more. Even though we've all heard Carson once say he expects to be ready for week 1 and things like that, you gotta take the whole mental part of it in there and things like that. Is he going to be ready to coming back right away? Is he going to be playing with a brace without a so I think you want to keep him there, and then maybe you make a move, sometime mid-season. I mean, we got him for next to nothing. Even if we do keep him next year, he starts off and he goes back to the bench, and then at the end of the year, we just got to cut him. I mean, I think it's like, thanks for getting us to the Super Bowl, buddy. I mean, I don't think Howie would screw him. I think he'll try to get Nick in the best position for Nick. I don't think he'll say, okay, well, here you go, go to the Cleveland Browns. You know what I mean? I think he'll help him out and try to help him find a situation that's good for his family and good for him, and the money works out, and he has some stability at the quarterback position and everything like that. But right now, I'd wait if I was Howie, just kind of see a little longer how this progression with Wentz is going. But because we know Wentz is our starter. I mean, there's definitely no argument that if Nick Foles wins the Super Bowl, it's Carson Wentz. I mean, I think that's it's crazy to even think that. But I have heard it. If Nick Foles wins the Super Bowl, does that mean we trade Carson Wentz? Absolutely not. Carson Wentz is our guy, and I will personally put a statue up of Nick Foles myself in front of the stadium if he wins the Super Bowl. So, and it will stay there forever. So we'll love him forever. But you want to see a guy. Nick's been there before. The city loves him. We were all behind him. I thought it was a great move picking him up when we did. It's a tough place to play in Philly, and he knew how to do it. So, it was a good, smart move for us, even bringing him in.
Well, Mike, listen, I wanted to thank you very much for giving us some of your time this morning. It was great to hear from an actual Philadelphia Eagles fan, not these Buffalo Eagles fans that have been popping up all over the city.
Right.
I've always liked the Eagles. I'm like, you still got the tag on your hat, man. What's going on? But it was really great to catch up with you, and good luck later today.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it, man. Now you got my number. Just lock me in, champ. We'll talk anytime, man. Definitely good talking to you, my brother.
You got it, brother. You take it easy, bud.
All right. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby.
See ya.